Hello everyone, thank you so much for joining me for this session. In this part, we would be specifically discussing about the topic drinking water in rural area and its scenario in rural India. So before I start the discussion, I would like to show all of you a presentation or a slide in the presentation, and using those points, we would be moving forward with the discussion. So here I go. So as all of you can now see the presentation, so the drinking water is a very important issue in the present times in the light of increasing health awareness among the rural public. And it is also one of the most important objective of the state government to provide safe drinking water to the rural population. And then towards the end of this session, I would also be sharing the statistics shared by the National Rural Drinking Water Program. And I would also like to tell that the maintaining the overall coverage, water quality, and the sustainability of drinking water that is provided in the rural areas is completely funded by the NRDWP, that is the National Rural Drinking Water Program. So coming to the main discussion about the drinking water facilities in rural areas. So India has long faced the challenge of providing safe drinking water to over 700 million people in more than 1.5 million villages. Way back in 1972, the government began to improve rural water supply, and in the mid 1980s, the issue was declared a national priority. So as a result, by 2011, 95% of India's rural population had access to some form of water supply infrastructure. In practice, however, many systems were no longer functional. So the key issue was that the system were designed and constructed by the state engineering agencies with little participation from the local communities. People lacked the sense of ownership and the maintenance was neglected. So the consumers also started treated water as a right to be provided free of cost by the government, making systems financially unstable. Moreover, a growing population led to the mounting demand for water, with the result that water tables were falling and many water sources were shrinking or drying up altogether. At the same time, the rural households had begun to demand higher level of services, while in the 1990s, the rural communities were satisfied with village wells and hand pumps, but now many of them now sought piped household connection for themselves. So as per the reports from Census 2011, merely 30% of rural areas are covered with tap water facility or supply. In addition to this, the sanitation facilities in the rural areas are also not adequate. Thus, there is a huge scope for developing drinking water infrastructure and sanitation facilities in rural areas. So, water supply for drinking and domestic uses is an essential basic requirement for household and communities. Unlike in large urban settlements, for small communities, in rural and outback areas, conventional methods of water sourcing or extraction or supply are not cost effective, especially so in the rural areas of developing countries when need simple alternative methods to satisfy their domestic water needs. Water supply to such rural communities can be sourced from either rainwater, groundwater, or spring surface water through simple rainwater harvesting techniques. Household as well as the community needs for water in arid and semi-arid regions where no other water sources are available or feasible can be met. Groundwater is by far the most practicable choice for safe water supply. There is a wide range of low-cost groundwater extraction techniques available. In areas where groundwater is not available in adequate quantities, the next best available option for water supply is from surface water sources. Often these surface water sources are more contaminated than the groundwater, which necessitates the treatment of water and hence increases the cost of water supply projects. There are simple treatment methods available to provide minimal levels of treatment to produce safe water free from microbial contamination. Depending on the quality of this raw water that is extracted, a treatment method can be like selected from a limited choice of low-cost treatment methods to achieve better quality water. Distribution of water from central source to the community is also an important aspect of water supply. For rural communities, distribution can be done through stand post and yard tap connection via a branched network of pipes. So with this, we come to the end of the session. And as I promised, I would be sharing the statistics shared by the Ministry of Drinking Water and Sanitation. So here, all of you can have a look of the graphs or the pictorial representation published by the ministry. So I believe all of you can refer to this publication by the Ministry of Drinking Water and Sanitation, and you can see various pie charts in this along with a map of India with different representation in green and light green color. So this was all from my side for this session. Thank you so much.